before this video gets started, I just wanted to take a second and talk to you about something important. First thing, the place that we're finding these artifacts and relics is privately owned land, and we have permission to be there. It's important that you know that. You guys know how much I love history, the stories that some of these artifacts and relics tell. But at best, I'm an amateur historian. I'm not a professional. There are people out there that can dig down into the dirt and truly reveal the story behind these artifacts. That's not me. And I know that. For that reason, all of the artifacts that we have collected from this site have washed out from wherever they lay in the dirt. A lot of them are laying around road beds, which have been cut into the side of hills. They've been moved from the stratum in their natural positions where they were left. I don't have any qualms about picking those up. I do, however, feel that for us to go digging into banks or digging pits is doing much more harm than good. Now, the landowner, if they wanted to, could bulldoze the entire property. They're not going to do that, but they could. We could dig pits if we wanted to. We're not going to. Just something that I want you guys to think about. Sometimes just because you have permission to be at a place, you still have to take some responsibility if you really love history. So we're going to leave everything that's in the stratum right where it's at. Not going to mess with it. Now you're going to see some shovels in the video. We're also metal detecting. There's a little home site. The reason why we first came to this place. And so we're going to do the typical metal detecting thing, and we're going to dig a plug and replace it. But the vast majority of places that we're going to be digging plugs, dirt has already been moved around anyway. I just wanted you guys to know that. Maybe something to think about next time you're on a permission and you find some pretty interesting stuff. Okay, well, I'm back here looking for more of these artifacts on the surface here. Red's supposed to come out here in just a minute, but I've already got a good find. Look at that. It's amazing how these things are just laying out there. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like a knife. Very cool. All right, keep going. Red better get here. I'm gonna have it all found. Oh my gosh. What a beauty. Oh my goodness, do you see the color on that thing? Oh, wow. This place just don't give up. Oh, that's the prettiest arrowhead I've ever run across right there. Gorgeous. Okay, no time to talk. I gotta look. Did want to show you all this. Been talking about it for a couple videos and I can't stop looking while I'm even talking to you guys. Anyway, I'm doing two things. I'm looking for arrowheads and I'm probing for bottles. Now here is my redneck bottle probe. Piece of aluminum was part of a net that broke, and just a piece of about 1/4 inch thick, maybe 3/16 inch thick wiring. And see that depression right there by those rocks? I'm looking for stuff like that, and I'll just run over here and see if it'll hit something, but just sounds like rock down in there, so no luck yet. But as I'm doing that and walking around, I'm also scanning for points. So that is the mode of operation today. This little place caught my eye. I don't know what's been going on there, but got the bottom of a big churn. Several pieces of that churn laying around. There's one over there, one right there, Got a piece right there. But that's all I see. I don't see a bunch of other glass. So I probed it and didn't hear anything. But there's another spring seep. And there's another that comes down from up here. So I haven't been in any of this yet. So I'm going to have to get in there and walk around. Who knows, maybe find some bottles too. Just got an old shovel poking up out of the ground. That's an old one right there. I got Red here. He finally made it in here, so the hunt can now officially begin. We'll get on it. Oh, I like that backpack, dude. Son, that's pretty. All right, Red just found something really cool. I was literally a foot or two away from it, never saw it. Look at that. Little tiny teacup. That's a shame it's broke. Anything written on the bottom? I doubt it, but that's pretty cool. All right, we're gonna keep going. Red just found something that I thought about yesterday. Check it out. A spur. I found that horse bit and I thought, man, I wonder if there'd be a spur up in here. Boy, that is homemade right there. Look at the twisted wire on that thing. That's awesome. Good job, good find. I just mentioned to Red that many times we've been up to this place, we've never got a coin. I turned the detector on and I got one. It is crusty. That would tickle me to death if it was an Indian head though. Let me clean this up and if I can get anything off of it, I'll show you. Oh, I think I see feathers. I may have got an Indian head. All right, let me clean this up. All right, it is an Indian head. I believe the date on it is 1888. It's in rough shape, but I gotta tell you, one of my favorite coins. Awesome. All right, gonna keep going. There's a story behind why we're finding these Native American artifacts and these relics in such close proximity. The Cherokee knew that these mountains were a great place to live, and as white settlers began to move into the area, they recognized the same thing. The Cherokee did their best to get along with their new neighbors. They developed a system of government and began to live in log homes and even dress like their neighbors. But it wasn't enough. In the 1820s, gold was discovered in North Georgia. This caused the Indian lands to be something desirable by greedy men. By the 1830s, laws were passed for the Indian removal, and this occurred on the now infamous Trail of Tears. C.S. Lewis said, "History isn't just a story of bad men doing bad things. It's as much a story of people trying to do good things, but somehow, something goes wrong." Not sure they cut that out. All right, once again, what in the world do we have? I know somebody's going to look at that and say, oh, that's a drilling hole from, somebody like core drilling. You just have to trust us that is not the case at this location. No roads, no blasting. I have no idea what that would have been used for, though. I don't know. I really would like an answer, though. That's an awesome find, bud, but you're carrying it out, not me. You ever heard that noise that a deer makes? Or maybe I should say hunters make to make a buck stop? Go something like, eh. Yeah, Red made that noise just a second ago. And he says he's got something pretty nice up here. What you got? Oh dear Lord. Oh man. Red. Wow. Look at that. That's beautiful. Okay.
Prettiest thing I've ever seen.
Golly. Yeah, that's nice, dude. Congrats. Okay.
That made me wet myself. I saw that. I had to take a double take.
Yeah, this is some of the stuff that we're seeing. That looks like a part of a point right there, man. Yeah, that's a point. Look at that. Worked on both sides. Just broke. But all these shards and pieces are laying right around in here, so that's why we're looking. Now, everything we've been finding up here has been quartz, but we've been keeping our eyes out for this stuff right here. Now, I call this flint, gray flint. And to my knowledge, this stuff was brought in from north of us over in Tennessee. Doesn't naturally occur here, but it makes gorgeous arrowheads, and the Cherokee knew it, and they got this stuff in. So every now and again we find one of these made out of this stuff, and it just does not lose its edge. They make gorgeous arrowheads, so we'll keep looking for this. All right, well, that big chunk right there caught my eye. Right over next to it, I think got a little one. Oh yeah, pretty. Nice. I was telling Red, this is really once in a lifetime. This fire has burned this whole area clear, and for the rest of our lives, unless there's another fire, this sort of hunting won't happen again.
That's sweet.
All right, don't keep going. I'm running out of time. I'm gonna do a quick wrap up here. And man, did we get on some good stuff. Look at those points. All right, so got a couple neat little rocks, real clear, like a piece of crystal quartz, and that flint. Red found that fork right here as we were kneeling down. I think that's an 1898. Pretty sure that's what that is. Indian head penny. That's the first coin. That's awesome. A little head stamp, a little teacup, a spur. Anybody knows what that is? We found it up with some of the wagon parts and something that came off like hames. So don't know. I've never seen anything like that before. And I think maybe a piece of iron pot. Red got a surface find. There's a bunch of the chips and stuff we picked up, and then that one, and then a second hole right here before this broke. So not sure. Would love to know what that was, what it was intended for. Hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we did. Thanks for watching.